when it comes to drug testing people, they only test for weed. But cops have no idea what it smells like.
No one's doing it.
No one's doing it. Like I would walk past the cop pretty much every day, like smoking a joint on my way to the subway. And he's like, smoking one of those poor people cigarettes. I don't know what that is.
Man, those poor people are addicted to that weird smelling shit. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Immigrant Section. It's your boy Abbas Wahab saying thank you for all those who came out to the Forced Diversity show this past Friday. It was a banger. 2 shows this time. I think I'm probably just going to have 2 shows every time. And as always, if you want to support the show directly, patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Unlock the bonus episodes, see behind the scenes content, all that shit. And just support the show so it don't stop. I'm getting aggressive with this, Dante. You know what I mean? Everyone's getting fired. But yo, enough of that. With me today in the studio, first time on the Immigrant Section, comedian. He's been in Toronto now a couple years. Funny motherfucker. I don't know his backstory, and that's why he's here. My guy, Danton Lamar. Welcome.
Well, yo, thanks for having me.
And cheers.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Nothing like a little brewski Sunday afternoon.
I mean, right?
Mm-hmm. Welcome, homie. I was just getting a little bit of your story, right before we're going live, because you just been. By the way, that last show you ran at the Lab Comedy Lab on Brunswick and Toronto, Brunswick and Bloor, man, that was a vibe.
Oh well, thank you. Yeah, no, I've been happy as hell to have that space. We opened up in February, and I mean, I've been happy to provide, the opportunity for more comics of color to get more stage time, just, as the only minority-run club in the city. Like,
are you running it like an actual club?
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I thought you were just running 2 shows there. I know you got the mics. Yeah. I didn't know you guys were like running it like full club.
Well, yeah, I mean, we produce 12 shows a month out of there, so that's
pretty clubby.
Yeah, and that's not even really including the mics. Like, we're doing 2 mics a week, Thursday and Friday, and 8 o'clock paid shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with a 10 o'clock on Saturday as well.
Sick. I didn't even know you were pushing to have minorities. I just thought I was getting up early as fuck every time, dude. I just thought I was a killer. You know what I mean?
Added benefit.
Yeah. You're one of the few places in the city where your ego tells you like you should enter a room and be able to like get up quick. Yeah. You know what I mean? I actually get up quick at the lab, dude. I actually feel like a big shot. Everywhere else, they're like, ooh, no guest busted. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to the lab. Fuck this shit.
I mean, yeah, we try to make sure if you're funny and you're a person of color, you got a spot here always. Yeah. We're not trying to pigeonhole anybody and just work with people of color, obviously, but, we don't get to shine as much as everybody else does in the city. When a lineup looks like a nice plate of Coke, 5 straight white guys, like it's not great. It doesn't represent Toronto.
I know, it's true. And it might be some funny month. It's funny how you could have it's so standard to have a show with 1 black guy. Like, you kind of look racist if you don't have 1 black guy. Mm-hmm. But if you have a show with just like 1 or no white guys, it's like some people are like, what is this? Like, it's almost as if the white guys is like the standard base of any lineup formulation.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems to be. I mean, at least they think so. I don't know. We've run a couple with just none. I mean, especially with our bigger shows, like, because my production company, Word, we do a monthly show at the Broken Cage Gallery. And
that's a banger show too.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
We've done a couple of those with 0 whites, just because we can.
That's actually his debut album coming out. Check it out for Danton Lamar, 0 whites. He's killing it. It's featured on Rap Caviar. It's at the top of the list. It's the first non-rap song. It's the first comedy track on Rap Caviar. Shout out to you, my guy.
I mean, somebody had to make the leap, right?
Yeah, somebody had to do it, bro. Somebody had to do it.
Oh god!
I was telling before Dante Williams, the producer here, I was telling this guy, I'm like, you've got the name of a black guy who's gonna be killed under this. Stand your ground, like, you know what I mean? Like, young Danton Lamar young Dante Williams went out to get Skittles and never made it home. But then I was like, yo, you thought your name was black, bro? We're getting Danton Lamar, bro.
Yeah, there's a reason I stay out of America.
We got an American in here today. Oh, say, can you see
me run away quickly.
Yeah, I love that. I actually know the American. That's the power of America. I know their anthem better than the Canadian one.
I mean, yeah, I don't know the Canadian one. I stopped learning it, actually.
Yeah.
I got to the part where they were like, yo, this is, what is it? Our home and native land.
Home and native land?
And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know about that shit. Yeah, there's just a native child in a fucking grave. Like,
So, like,
I call bullshit.
Considering what you did to your natives, I'm like,
Yeah.
not like America did any better, but it's like, you know, we're not digging them up in mass graves. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's not a good look. You know?
It's not. It's not. Like, I don't know. I've been traveling for a while just to get away.
So you are. Give me the general backstory real quick. Like I said, I just know you on a surface level from the shows, your comedy. I know you fucking were in Russia. The second you said you were in Russia, I'm like, oh, this thing has got to come on the podcast. But we'll just breeze us through the general backstory.
All right, so the broad strokes. I was born in Arizona, grew up in Massachusetts.
Put the pussy in a coma? Sorry, keep going. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. But yeah, grew up in Massachusetts, small towns, nowhere near Boston. And then went to college upstate New York. Then
Like Albany or whatever?
yeah, right near Albany. And then I was gonna move to California shortly after I graduated with my girlfriend, and then she broke up with me.
As it happens.
Oh, it does. It
Yeah.
does. Yeah. And then she did our plan.
She moved to California.
Yeah, she still executed the plan, except she just replaced me with her ex.
Oh God! Oh God! She took a backwards move. It's like she went back to an old company for higher pay or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right.
He's like, I won't cheat now. She's like, that's higher pay. Go.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they went to California, and I was like, well, I can't do that now. So
They got dibs on that state.
yeah,
Fuck them.
if I go there, it looks like I'm facing them down.
Yeah.
So no. And I was like, well, I mean, I wanted to leave. I said I'm leaving, so I'm like, fuck it. Gonna go to China. And so I went to China. I was out there for a couple
Where
of
in
years.
China?
I was in Beijing. Yeah.
Beijing.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's actually
man.
where I started comedy, too.
Yeah, dude. Man, used to go to China and I did comedy in Shanghai.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. We're like,
Nice.
I haven't had this. And Tamara Siobhan.
Yeah,
we're the
Tamara.
3 blacks in China.
I know.
How long were you there?
I was there for 3 years.
Oh, goddamn. Okay,
Yeah.
you put in way. I was there just like a couple months, like 3 weeks at a time. 3 years in Beijing.
Yeah, I put in serious time.
Yeah, dude. Goddamn.
Yeah, I did a year, then left, went to Korea for a little bit.
Can I ask, was it easy to get the visa?
Honestly, back then it was pretty easy. Just because like the laws were different. Like you didn't have to have a degree in English to teach English. Like, and half the time when they said you had to have a degree, that just meant you had to pay.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to break the wallet open. Is what they
Yeah,
said.
and like honestly, I remember when I was there, you could actually get a degree at the police station.
What do you mean?
Like you could just pay them to print you a degree with your name on it.
Actually,
At the police station.
that's hilarious. Those like gift degrees you get online
Yeah.
of like the
'Cause you-
joke degrees.
Yeah, because you just needed to have a piece of paper with one. And I'm just like, wow.
And there's like
all right.
$100 fee or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
for printing.
For printing it. And just like, okay. I mean, like I had one, so I was fine. But just to see it happen, I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, so I was out there for a while.
Teaching English?
Teaching English.
Let's not gloss right over Beijing. You're like, and then I went to Korea. Bro, slow down. 3 years in Beijing. Slow the fuck down, my guy.
Well, yeah,
what
no,
was that like?
It was nuts out there. The first 6 months, fucking hated it. But like the first 3 months I hated it. I lived in a hostel for the first 6 months.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what was the living situation?
Well, yeah, so I went out there with $300.
Who's renting to you?
It took a while to find somebody who would. I went out there, $300 to my name, and I lived in a hostel with like one of my best friends. We made some good friends. Fucking, I thought I had a job when I was heading out there, right? Like I'd been promised a job, an apartment. None of that existed when I got there.
Welcome to China, my friend.
they were
That's
just
a
like-
very Chinese way things went down, dude.
Yo, and there was like this company that brought me out there, and they're like, yo, we got you. Like they were the ones who told me I had all this shit
So
set up.
sponsoring people.
Yeah, and then I get there, and they're like, yeah, so you're black. We're not going to be able to
So,
find you a
yeah,
job.
kind of a hiccup.
And I was
Turns
like,
out there's a little bit of racism here. You're like, I thought I left America. What
yeah,
the
like
fuck?
what? Yo, and
It's even worse here.
And like in some ways it is, some ways it
In
isn't.
some ways, it's not. It's more of a spectacle, like
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
But there isn't like, but it's the system is built to be racist here, whereas there it's like you're so different and like, oh, they know like black is bad kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like the system is not built to be racist over there.
No, so it's like it doesn't feel like it's an oppressive thing coming from above. It's just people being like,
exactly.
he might steal.
Whereas America, it's like a Danton Lamar just wouldn't get the interview.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, that's we're looking for Stevensons.
You know, I mean, you know, it's bad when your resume gets shot up. So.
Yeah, right. Like this resume's got bullet holes in it, man. We don't want anything to do with this fucking guy. So first 6 months, no job, just hostel, just out of savings.
Yeah, living in a hostel. No, they didn't even charge me. Thank God. Like I didn't pay until I left. That's the only reason I was able to survive there.
I love hostels.
I mean, right? Yeah. I mean, I basically worked there for a little bit because I was like helping people out when they came through because I moved in during high season. So I'm like, I may as well make myself useful.
I've seen that a lot of times. Yeah.
And so it was cool. I don't know. It was crazy because like I kept running around the city pretty much every day for a while, just looking for a job.
Any job,
any teaching job, anything. And like there were a couple times I got interviewed even with other people I was like, you know, living around, like working with, like
mostly white girls, I'm assuming, because it's like that's who's going over there to teach English.
Well, like white girls, white dudes. I was with this Australian dude, right?
Yeah.
And there was one time we went on an interview together.
Yeah.
And so it's me and this Australian dude.
Yeah.
And like we're sitting there in this room. Now I had taught math and Spanish at a school in the U.S. Like I'd been a substitute teacher, but I still taught it. And then I had also worked at summer camp, so I had a lot of experience working with kids. This other guy never worked with a child a day in his life.
And was Australian.
And was Australian.
You know what I mean? So 80% alcoholic right off the top. Right.
I mean, but the thing is like this place, like they, you know, we're there, we're interviewing, and the interviewer is not paying attention to me. Like she's asking him all the questions. Like I'm barely getting to put an answer in edgewise, even though I'm the one with all the experience.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then when he's like bumbling over an answer, I jump in and I'm like, this is what you really should do. And then he just repeats it. She's like, good.
You're good. Yeah.
I'm like, is this what it's like being a woman? What the fuck?
Yeah, right. Like you're learning about all the isms out here. Huh?
So like I just see all this go down. I'm like, what the fuck? And turns out like later on, because it was a company another friend worked at. She tells him, he's like, yeah, you know, he was good. It's just our parents don't want black teachers. And I was like,
wait. What do you mean? So the lady running the interview was the daughter of the owners of the school or something?
She just was the HR
the
for the
parents
school.
Of the children. I'm sorry. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
just some straight up racist, which compared to America and where I've been everywhere. I actually prefer that answer.
I mean,
do you not prefer that answer?
Just tell me.
Like,
that's
I'm not
why.
even mad at you guys.
Like, yeah, if that's why, fuck it. All right, like that's the level of racism I can be like.
We're
right,
very
you know
impressed, but at this time we don't feel you'd be the best candidate. That's how you normally hear it.
Yeah, it's just like
the position has been filled, Mr. Lamar.
It's like, but the sign's still up.
Please don't say anything. Please don't steal anything on your way out. So they told you that, then what?
Yeah, well, like they told him that, and I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, all right, so now like I knew the uphill battle I was against, and so I was just at that point trying to work for, you know, foreign-owned schools because they were the only ones who didn't really care.
Yeah. I thought you were only going to international schools. You're going to like
non-international anything.
You're going to like public schools.
Well, no, it wasn't public schools, but it was like there are a lot of Chinese-owned English-speaking English schools. So it's just like trying to go there because they're trying to get in on the fucking gang of money people are making off of it. Like I was making when I finally did get a job, I was making decent money, but it took a while.
What happened?
Like I got lucky. I found this like random posting and get up there. It's a place 2 hours away from where I was staying in the city, and like get up there, interview, and turned out the guy that was interviewing me was from a town that was not even 3 hours away from where I grew up.
Oh, in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
No way.
And I'm just like
white guy.
Yeah, white guy. So I was like, all right, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get this job because we just talked about like a lot of inside baseball shit, just like hometown shit for a while, and I'm like, yeah, if he doesn't hire,
he's like, you know, Culver's on Jefferson. I love Culver's on Jefferson.
It was just like it was a great moment. So like I finally got that job there, but it was interesting because like there were moments where like I would talk to the Chinese staff, and they're like, yeah, you know, rich Chinese people just don't trust black people. And I'm like,
you're
why?
Like, wait, does that mean poor Chinese people trust black people? Since when did poor Chinese people trust black people?
Well, it's because they don't consume as much Western media. So they don't see us playing fucking drug addicts and criminals as often.
And they don't fear their possessions being stolen, right?
You know, what do you got to lose?
Yeah. So they were straight up told you that, and these teachers that like were with you, were they like at the beginning, like what? Were you the only black teacher?
Yeah, I was the only black teacher. I was the only teacher of color.
Yeah, and so they were at the beginning like, and then you slowly befriended everyone. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they were just like, because
of course,
they just never seen a black person before.
Yeah.
So like once all the photos were taken, it was fine.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy when I was living, because I lived right near Tiananmen Square for a little while, and so like I was a tourist attraction in a tourist attraction. And so
you just stand in front of tanks whenever you got a chance.
Oh god!
While I'm here, you know what I mean? We'll find a tank and stand in front of it.
I mean, I would be like smoking a cigarette out in front of McDonald's, hungover as shit from the night before, and somebody would just come up to me, throw their arm around me
For a picture, right?
Yeah, their girlfriend would take a picture, and then they would just walk away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's China. That's China.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even get a high, a nothing. Like, it was just bye.
And what about the students you had?
The students, they thought I was the coolest thing ever. Like,
those are gonna be the least racist fucking Chinese kids.
Oh yeah,
Chinese adults.
Yeah, because they're like, nah, black people are cool. What do you mean? One
Danton
taught me the
Lamar.
ABCs.
Yeah, right. ABC. Spray your enemies. I don't know.
But yeah, like it was nuts out there. I mean, like you would occasionally run into some shit like where a kid would just be like, and like not be able to get over it for like the first class. Like they're just like, they come up and be like, it doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away. I love it. Man.
But like they would occasionally ask me like, so did you just stay out in the sun too long? Like, is that what it is?
Just child naivety, huh?
Or like when they'd go on vacation, they'd just be like, all right, so I'm gonna go on vacation. I'm gonna come back as black as you. Like,
you're like, don't say that to me.
I didn't think I would hear that on this side of the pond.
Yeah, right. But it's more innocent and like
it is. It is cool because like to them and like it's a very different thing. It's like, black is bad because like getting your skin darker is bad just because it looks like you work in the field.
Yes,
like
it's the world
opposite.
Is like that.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite of the whites. Like they're just like they want to tan because it looks like they have money to tan. Whereas it's like everybody else like, I don't want to look like I tend fields. Like I don't.
That whole Sicilian Italy thing.
Yeah. And so it's like but so like when they say it, they're just like, I'm gonna go get a tan is what they mean, and it's just like yeah, but you think you're gonna get a lot cooler because of it.
It's like I just stepped down the socioeconomic ladder.
Yeah,
I tan too long. Did the 3 years just kind of fly by from that point that you got the job?
Well, I mean, I had a couple different jobs out there. Like that first one was okay. Like I was working with kids mostly for that one, and then after that. Like I did a year. Like I did a year of traveling around a little bit Korea, in the States for a little while, and then when I came back, I was actually working for a much bigger school, which was like all adults, and so that time that flew. I mean, that was during that trip. Like that was when I started doing comedy, and so I was traveling a little more for that, and like just in the scene a lot more. Yeah. So I was just involved in. Like Beijing. Yeah,
you had like a much more richer social life.
Yeah, and so like that just flew. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and like I was making really good money and saved none of it.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes, man.
Oh my god!
But look at the smile on your face right now. There's some memories, bro. He's like, oh man, fuck those Asian bitches. Yo, did you ever get chased by an angry Chinese father when you were out there? I just need to know this.
I never. Luckily,
Danton Lamar. Dude, there's a picture of you in a room in Beijing at some guy's house. Angry. We're fucking doing like nunchuck exercise at Danton, and he's just hitting your fucking Danton Lamar.
I mean, the good thing about Beijing, at least in that respect, is like nobody's really from Beijing. It's one of those transient
Shanghai's
cities.
the same. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like everybody moves to Beijing.
All expats.
Yeah. Well, it's all expats, and then it's even the Chinese people aren't
They're all from the fucking agricultural area and shit. They're there for promise and opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like,
so daddy's not there.
Yeah, daddy's nowhere near. So like,
so
they're
perfect.
While the cat's away.
Yeah.
Well, I guess while the dad's away, the cat will play. So,
is that how it goes?
I mean, should be.
If you could go back to Beijing now, what would be like the first thing you do?
Oh, if I could go back right now, there was a restaurant that I used to go to, 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Like in that last stint. And I like it's one of those things where it's like I've been to every Chinese restaurant in Toronto, still have not found those same noodles. Yeah. Like there was just this one dish I used to get and I'm like, I can't fucking find it. Like it's just not here. Like, I don't know. So I would go straight there. That's what I would do.
God, I love it, bro. Everywhere I've lived, same here. It's always a food thing, you know? It's always your food spot. You know? It grounds you to wherever you are. He's like, I just need a food spot that I love.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of feel like I'm pseudo at home.
Yeah.
As long as I got my spot.
Because I know what I'm gonna get there, and like I know anything I get there is gonna be quality.
Yeah,
like that's You
and the employees are kind of familiar. It's not like they're shooting the shit with you, but it's just like you see familiar faces. Yeah, you know.
Well, and it was always fun because like I would go in and like I don't speak Chinese, don't read Chinese. Yeah. So like at my neighborhood joint, like I would just be like point at something on the menu. Yeah. Like I would just point and they after a while they'd be like, no, you don't want that.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. You really want the cow tongue and hoof? Trust me. Just
like you don't.
Get the Shanghai noodles.
And they're like, all right, fair. And like I eventually did learn.
He wants chicken, yeah.
Like I did learn how to read what chicken was. Yeah. And like I learned how to read the meats and like noodles and rice and shit like that. So like I learned the basic shit, but like I wasn't gonna read a fucking newspaper.
Yeah, no, I get it, dude. The company I was working for at one point in America, I worked in America for 3 years. And they would teach us. They got bought by a Chinese company, and they would have Chinese lessons every Friday at lunch. So I could say, I could say hi, my position, my name and my position. Woshi Jiangmu Abbas. Woshi something. I forget how it was. But yeah, man, China was a fucking that was a good time, man. Yeah, it was a good time, dude.
Yeah, it's a crazy place. I mean, like especially before the pandemic, it was kind of wild westy, and like as long as you didn't pay attention to what was happening to the Uyghurs, it was a fun place to be.
Yeah, and anyone who's fucking goes against their agenda,
right? Yeah,
they tend to disappear.
They do, and it's crazy because like like I said, I lived like in Tiananmen Square, and there are a couple old people that still live there, and so it's like they were around.
Yeah,
when shit went down.
Yeah,
and like we would have like people, occasionally like Chinese tourists, like or friends of ours that would come over, and like we'd catch one of these old people, and like we'd try to get them to talk about it, and they'd just be like, no.
Yeah, it's like a war survivor. Pretty much.
Yeah. They're just like no, like nothing happened.
Did you see the deaths? Tell me about the deaths, uncle.
Yeah, they're like nothing happened that day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
like,
Pop, did you see the explosions of blood?
Did you hear the screams?
Tell me about them, Pop.
Tell me about your nightmares.
Yeah. The weirdest child. What the fuck? Blair Witch shit. And then you went to Korea. So at this point you were like, I ain't going back to America.
I mean, pretty much. Like I love.
Like you got the
America.
Travel bug was like hit you.
Yeah. Well, because like it was in middle school when I first met like my first legit Asians, and I was just like, oh, y'all are coming here for school. Like they were boarding students, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go live in your countries at some point. Like I said that at 13.
You can't do that. You can't.
And then I eventually did it. Like Korea was one of the other places I was like, I gotta live there.
I haven't been to Korea. How was Korea?
Oh, Korea's fucking awesome.
Okay, so Koreans versus Chinese. So I know how Chinese are very well. In fact, I have so many Chinese friends here, but I mean like truly like in China. The Chinese are vulgar. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck. I've stayed in Japan. Japanese are like, they'll look at you, and when you look, they'll look away.
Yeah.
Chinese, when you look at, when I was in China, I had a thing in my head where I was like, people would stare at me, and I would stare at them.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't stop staring, and I would stop first, and then I would walk away beating myself up like, how did I lose?
I lost.
How did I lose? And I would tell myself, if I catch someone staring, I'm going to win. And we would have the longest, I don't know what the staring rules are in China. Like, when I first came, I was doing a bit over there. I'm like, I didn't know this, but the Chinese invented staring. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that shit. They stare, like, in a type of way where it's like, I don't know how we're taught in this side of the world that like when someone stares at you, you look away. They were never taught that shit.
I don't know. Like over here, it's just like, you don't want to get caught staring at somebody.
Exactly.
Whereas like over there, they're like, I'm looking at you. What?
Japan, they look away. I have a feeling Koreans are closer to the Japanese in the sense that they're more like Western, like they look away. There's like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, so they look away. They're far politer.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, they're used to way more Western culture. Like, because Korea still has a ton of American bases. Like we're slowly leaving.
True.
They've seen us. Like, so it wasn't the same. Like, oh my God, like it's a black person. I mean, for some people, like if they're not in Seoul or like one of the bigger cities where we have a base, then maybe they haven't seen somebody.
But still, they have access to Western culture like easily. They have access to Google, so it's like that's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, it's like they know about us, and like it was still fun out there. Like Korean people, way politer. But they're a ton of fun. They're like if because you know the Japanese, you know the Chinese. They are like. They're like 75% towards the Japanese.
Because the Japanese have like ultimate discipline, but insane party culture.
Yeah.
It's all about the second we give 100% at the workplace and die for the company.
Yeah.
But then the second we leave, the company culture says we leave. If it's 6, maybe the company culture is we leave at 7 or 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're going straight to the bars.
Yep.
The fucking tie is coming undone, and I got a lampshade and a hooker. I'm like a 60-year-old Japanese man with 4 kids at home. Like,
yeah, and that's going to the KTV on a Friday. Yeah, and if your boss says we're going, you gotta go. Like,
did you teach English out there too?
Yeah, I taught there for a little bit.
Was it difficult to get a job? Same type of deal, or
not as difficult? Just because again they've seen us, like they know, and being American, they're just like, all right, yeah, cool. It was just I didn't apply for jobs before I got there. Like I just showed up.
You got caught. You're like, if I fucking made it work in China, I got this.
I got it. Like I was going to stay with a friend of mine. Like we had lived in China together. He had moved to Korea, so I was like, I got a couch to crash on. I'm
perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
Like and so I just went there. Like I ended up bouncing around from a couple different schools because I just didn't find one I liked.
Yeah.
And then ended up building houses for a little while.
Yeah, like straight up construction.
Yeah, straight up. Like we were building North American style wood frame houses in Korea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have they always constructed like that, or is this a new thing for them?
No, it's a luxury thing. Because like they build a lot of their stuff out of concrete.
Yeah, I was gonna say concrete rhubarb, right?
Yeah.
Is normally how they do it, Africa style.
Yeah, I mean, because it's quick.
It lasts
lasts forever.
Yeah.
But like having a North American style house is a side of luxury. Being like, my house is all
I
wood.
can break this wall down with minimal renovation costs.
Yeah.
This is a load bearing wall, but we could take it down. Like,
it's all impractical as fuck, but like it's there.
How is it teaching the vibes of teaching with teachers and the vibe of, because I've worked construction, and anybody who works construction knows that you're kind of dealing with the lowest rung of society. All the people that got DUIs, have had criminal charges, have had all these things, they're the ones that can still make it through the getting a job construction process.
Yep.
So it's like a lot of the guys you're with are like chain smoking, tatted up, they got crazy stories, pill addiction. Yep. Like this is it over there like similar, or they're like actually super clean cut and whatever the fuck?
Well, I mean, you described like one of the guys I worked with pretty much to a T, and he was Canadian.
I love it. This guy worked construction here. He got his ground. He got his bearings here.
Well, so it was like a father and son team that were Canadian that would come out and build the houses, and like they would occasionally hire on like other Koreans, but not that often. And so like they hired me because there was no language barrier.
Yeah.
So it was really just me working with them too. But like he was all those things. Like the son was all those things. I called him Spider Dan. Because he loved to pop pills, and there was one time where like we went out drinking, and he like I left him alone for a little while, and I shouldn't have. I was more often his babysitter.
You're bailing him out in 6 hours, I bet.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, no, like so somebody gave him a Xanax.
Yeah.
While he was drinking, and he blacked out, as one does.
Yeah, Xanax.
And there was like this second floor smoking balcony that we used to go to near the bar, and he just decided that he was gonna be Spider Dan and jump and land like a fucking superhero on the ground. But this alley that he decided to jump into was filled with ACs. And so he
hanging ACs, Japanese style, right?
Like, just outside of the building, like, and he hit like 3 of them on the way down.
Bang.
Fucked his legs.
doubled his pill intake, I'm sure,
Yo,
at least.
Like, he was, I mean, rest in peace. But he didn't die from that fall. But did
he die?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, rest in peace. Characters like that don't go long, dude.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a treat to have known Spider Dan while I did.
Rest in peace, Spider Dan. You will be missed.
All right.
Yo, guys, support patreon.com/the-immigrant section. We're sending everything to Spider Dan. I'm in court 2 years from now being like, he received $28,000 and said nothing. We tried to get a hold of his family.
Had no idea how.
So a year there. jumping around jobs and just kicking it in Seoul, huh?
Yeah. Well, like I really did like 8 months in Korea, and then I bounced back to the States for a little bit.
You make it sound like tours. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I toured out in Korea. Did a Korea tour, Afghanistan, China. What? Here's the question. This is what I love. Every time you go to a new country, the vibe of like the fear of getting arrested is always different. Like they'll be like, don't, like when I was in China, they warned me about trying to get weed. They're like, they'll fucking, and I got weed in Shanghai just because Shanghai's like there's the spots, and and it was garbage weed, but still I got it. But they'd be fucking, they're like, they'll fuck you up here. You're getting locked up. They don't do like. Did they give you the whole type? Did you have any like run-ins with the law, Korea, China?
No, luckily not.
People around you?
Yes, people around me. Yes, me. I got very lucky. Like there were a couple dudes in China that got fucking hemmed up for like one dude had just picked up a bunch of coke for a Friday night, and like he was picking up for like 5 friends, so he had like 5 grams on him, and then he got hemmed up right then, and so he got sent away for 8 months in Chinese prison before getting deported.
Jesus. Did you ever talk to him again?
I've talked to him again. He's back in England.
Did he tell you about Chinese prison?
Yo, he went in, like he spoke a little Chinese before going in.
Oh, thank God for him, huh?
All right, and then like
too much pain.
Because like there's like I think it's like 6 levels, right? Yeah. Of like Chinese. And
similar to hell. It's very similar to Dante's Inferno, isn't it? 7 levels. Yeah.
So like he was like level 3 before he went in, and like he left at like level 5.
Is that like more aggressive or less aggressive?
Well, no, like the quality of his Chinese. Like he just spoke.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
He went from like kind of being able to put sentences
8
together
months,
to like he was like, I'm damn near fluent.
Yeah. Too bad I can't come back in the country.
Yeah,
right?
he can't come back for 10 years.
Now he's teaching Mandarin in fucking what, Manchester or some shit.
Well, actually, he works for a fucking bank just doing their Chinese negotiations over the phone.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
Like, he's just like, I can never go, but like I can handle everything.
Yeah, he's like those criminal checks. They don't check other countries. Yep. Looks to you like you did almost a year in prison, in Chinese prison, for having fucking drug dealing levels of cocaine. It's like, oh, it's a whole thing. Yeah. He just calls it his Chinese classes. Mandarin classes for 8 months. Yeah. Intensive Mandarin. Yeah, very intense. We stayed there. It was a boarding school. Yeah. Thank God he was white, bro. Thank God he was white. Huh? And British. Yeah. The highest level of white as far as the world is concerned.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, English accent. He can't handle 2 years. Whatever the standard sentence is, he got a third of it, I'm sure.
I mean, not even. Yeah, because like there was an American Chinese. Like half.
Yeah.
They're like
they're already mad at that.
An ABC, as they call them. Yeah. Like he was back in China, and I mean, to be fair, he was actually moving weight. Like he was bringing green from the US. Yeah. And they found out, and
he was on some Pablo shit.
Yeah. And like he kind of like suspected on the day that he got busted, because like I talked to him later too, and like he was like, yeah, like it just seemed like I was about to get set up that day. Like I just woke up and I knew. I'm like, that's not good.
How much time did he get?
He got a year and a half, and then he got deported and can't come back for I think like 15. Which I'm just like,
they don't play, huh?
Yeah, they do not. But like the crazy thing is like when it comes to drug testing people, they only test for weed, or at least they only used to test for weed. But cops have no idea what it smells like.
Because it's just no one's doing it.
No one's doing it. Yeah. So it's like I used to walk down the street.
Yeah.
Like smoking. Yeah. Like I would walk past the cop pretty much every day, like smoking a joint on my way to the subway, and he would look at me, I'd look at him, I'd nod, and he's like, smoking one of those poor people cigarettes. I don't know what that is.
Man, those poor people are addicted to that weird smelling shit. It gives them hope or some weird shit. Man, I was smoking in Shanghai with these straight up Nigerian importer exporters, what they said, and the cop would walk by, and we were just on a park bench smoking weed, and he was just a patrol cop, and he would look and he would keep walking in, and in my mind I was like, oh, they don't want trouble, but I never thought of the fact that they may not even know what weed fucking smells like.
Yeah, they just don't have an idea.
Yeah,
because like it's not a general, it's mainly the foreigners that
here
do it.
Everyone fucking, especially Canada, if you ask someone on the street, chances are they either have smoked weed or currently smoke weed. Like everyone smokes weed.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that's good.
What about Korea? Was weed intake higher?
No, Korea. I found weed once in Korea.
Oh, it's way harder to get.
Way harder to get because
Coke the choice over there?
pills.
Pills, gotcha.
Pills, because you can get pills.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get shit else. The
Gotcha.
fucking punishments for regular drugs in Korea are so high.
Gotcha.
Like, they were so high that my friend was scared to take a tab of acid back with him. Like, just
That's
one
crazy.
tab.
And acid is the easiest thing in the world to hide.
That's why I'm like, yo, really?
Put that in your wallet.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, like, you could...
How can a dog smell acid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's gonna catch you with that. He's like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not. I
No.
can't. It just the paranoia going through.
It's like Singapore. Singapore, they'll just kill you. Dude.
yeah. It's like,
This guy's got a joint on him. Death by fucking whatever the fuck, hanging.
yeah. No, because I
Guillotine.
remember Korea's fucking nuts. Because I remember my friend from middle school, one of those OG Koreans I had met. He, when we were in our 20s, got brought up on charges for having. I think he had 3 joints when he got caught by the cops. And so they were going to give him 5 years.
Holy fuck.
And I remember everybody in his family was like, yo, can you write character statements to say that
for you?
Anybody.
Yeah,
And they asked me for one. And I was just like, all right.
He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy.
It was honestly a mistake.
He found the things.
He was holding it for a friend.
Yeah.
Like,
That's wild. Did he end up getting the time?
no, he ended up getting off.
Oh, okay.
He ended up getting off. His family is also very well connected. So I'm just like, yeah, that works. But fuck, I was just like, all right, I am not gonna deal with any of that. So I luckily I had a friend who had failed out of med school and then also had gotten into a car crash.
Yeah.
So he knew
Which
exactly.
come together pretty often, you know what I mean? Those seem to go hand in hand. Then he did a disability claim and he's living off of it.
I mean,
I've heard the story many times.
Well, no, he's still teaching English, but he has
Trust me, he's getting checks for his lower back. I promise you that.
I mean,
I promise you that.
Yeah, but he knew exactly what to tell doctors to get whatever pain meds he
of
wanted.
course.
So he had 3 doctors around Seoul that he would get prescriptions filled from. And so he just had a constant supply of fucking benzos and
For him, or was he
opioids.
selling them?
Oh, he was sharing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He
Yeah,
wasn't
you know
even
what?
selling. He was just sharing.
If you said about weed, he knew a guy that had a weed garden and he can get all the weed, I'd be sick. But when you say he had access to all the fucking oxys he could get his hand on, I'm like, that's just a death sentence,
Right?
dude. That's literally just a death sentence.
It was too much, honestly. And his thing was he would go.
He's
up to
alive?
people. I don't. Nobody's heard from him in 5
Spider
years.
Dan dies and this guy is he's kicking it.
We don't even know. I mean, his name's Andrew. I don't even know.
Andrew, where are you? If you're watching this for some fucked up reason, where?
I mean, hopefully chilling out on a beach in Malaysia. I have no idea.
He's with Spider Dan right now in the 4th level of hell.
Just chilling out.
So how the fuck did Russia happen? Did you go to other countries between Korea and Russia? Or?
Yeah. So I was in.
I was getting to those.
I was in the Czech Republic for a while.
I've been to the Czech. I've been to Prague.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lived in Prague.
Prague is cool. Very touristy.
Yeah. And I had gone with the intention of starting a tourism company.
Beautiful women in Prague.
Oh yeah.
God damn.
It was one hell of a time.
Yeah. Prague was. I was only in Prague for 48 hours, and that was a good goddamn time.
Oh yeah. No, I was out there for 8 months again, and
Teaching or just lingering at this point?
I did a little teaching,
Yeah.
but I was mostly working in tourism because I had planned on starting a tourism company. So I was just trying to get on the ground experience.
Gotcha.
And
You're like, what's that? They're like, that's a deli. You're like, deli.
Yeah.
You're like, that's where the Count Duke Ferdinand got shot and started the First World War. Oh my God, I thought that was in Serbia. No, it was right there.
right
actually.
here. Oh, okay. I learned,
I don't get paid by tips. At this point, I like to remind everyone.
it was actually in Prague where I learned what defenestration means.
What's that?
So defenestration is when you kill somebody by pushing them out of a window.
Defenestration.
Yeah.
Is this still that word in this side of the world?
Oh yeah, that's English. That is
Defenestration?
Yeah.
Google that. I gotta see this Googled. I gotta see how it's typed first. Defenestration. There we go. Yeah. Defenestration. The action of throwing someone out of a window. This guy's not, bro. If you had any doubts about Spider Dan or Andrew or any of these, defenestration has corroborated everything so far.
I spit nothing but truth.
Yeah, you just drop that and get tipped like crazy. Yeah.
No, but it was crazy because they've done that apparently. There have been Czech uprisings and they've just thrown their fucking leaders out of windows.
That's so funny. Leader, we have something to tell you. Okay, tell me. Can we talk on the 6th floor? Just tell me right now. Can we move to a higher level, leader?
Like, this first floor isn't going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Second's probably not even going to work either. They push him and he just breaks a leg.
Yeah, and they did it, like, I think, like 3 times throughout their history. Like, it's just...
Really? They're just window pushers. Yeah. That's the most pussy move ever. Leader, look at how beautiful of a day it is. Open the window and let's smell the window or air. He's like, you open the window. It's like, fuck, he got us on that one. Shit. We gotta go back to the drawing board. I'm a lackey. Why would he open the window? Fuck.
I feel like...
Just hand me the gun.
I feel like every time it was like just a mass revolt and like people just stormed all the way up and like they chased them to the top
of a tower
because they thought they were going to escape. It's just like going up, you never escape. But they didn't see the movies, so you know they just got caught in the corner and pushed out the window.
8 months there.
Yeah.
And what was the thing that made you go like, okay, time to leave?
I was dating somebody there and they ended up basically stealing the majority of my money and throwing me out of our apartment.
Out of the window? No way, dude. They defenestrated you, bro.
I mean, luckily we lived in the basement, so I couldn't fit through the window.
Let's chat on the roof.
Yeah.
Danton, I have something to tell you.
But yeah, she literally threw, like, I came home from work to all my shit out in the hallway.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Was it coming? Like, was this like, you were expecting it? Like, what was the reason?
I mean, we were on the rocks. Like, things weren't amazing, but like, I didn't think it was
You're
going to be
transient.
Like, I didn't think it was going to be that.
Yeah.
It's like, that was a little bit excessive. Like, I mean, I understand the breakup, but like, really, my camera? Like,
yeah. What the fuck?
So, yeah, that shit was brutal. Like, I didn't appreciate it, but like, yeah, so she took basically all the money I had in cash too, and so I was like, well, I gotta go, and so I called my parents. I was like, so can you get me a flight and I'll pay you back when I
You're like, Mom, Dad, bitches be crazy. Can I get your MasterCard info?
And I mean, at that point, I hadn't been home for like 3 years, so they were like, yeah, we'll pay for you to come home.
So you go home, first time.
Yeah.
China, you didn't go home. Went straight to Korea.
I went straight to Korea, then I went home for a little bit.
Yeah, then back to Czech Republic.
Then back to China for 2 years.
Oh, gotcha.
And then Czech.
So you did 5 in China or one?
No, I did one.
One Korea, back for 2 Czech.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bouncing around.
No, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Actually, till this day, I have like 4 years left. I have a 10-year China visa for like business back in the day. Yeah, so nice. I think I got like 4 years left on my fucking China visa.
Yeah, no, mine definitely expired.
But 3 years is a good stint.
Yeah.
Then what happened? We got to get to Russia, bro. That's the
I know.
I want to know.
That's what sold you on having me on. Yeah. No, so I was out there. It was cool, and then I went back to the States, and I got kind of stuck for a little bit.
I gotta ask, when you went back to the States after years of being abroad, pretty much, how did you see the States at that point?
Oh, I fucking hated it.
Yeah,
I had reverse culture shock coming back because I'm just like, and like I had loathed America before I left anyway. So like while I was gone, I was like, yeah, all this shit is great. Like getting better, like getting used to shit, especially like Europe. I was like, Europe is just heaven. Like it is just it's got its shit figured out.
Yeah, it's just such a way older culture.
It is.
So everything has just converged to like that life work balance perfectly.
It is. Yeah. And they also just don't have as systemic racism. Yeah, so it's nice.
Yeah, you're like, you go back to Massachusetts and that shirtless guy in the 7-Eleven mad his vape pod isn't being sold. That really gets you now.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh fuck, here again. And like honestly, even when I came back, my parents weren't living in Massachusetts anymore. They were down in Virginia, and so like I wasn't even close to any of my friends. Like I had nothing. And so that was a miserable time, and I was, going through a bit of withdrawal. And so I'm trying to figure out how to get out of there. And
then you saw Putin come on the screen.
Well, actually, one of my friends,
Vladimir,
had already been living in Russia.
Yeah,
and he kept telling me like it was awesome and like
Moscow,
come check it out. Saint Petersburg.
Okay, word. It's pretty much Moscow. Saint Petersburg is all I know of the country.
You
don't want the other shit.
So yeah, don't go live anywhere.
I'd rather go to
else.
Mississippi than boonies Russia, bro.
I mean, yeah, like I want to go check out Vladivostok, but like that's
what's it? What'd you say?
Vladivostok.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, so that's like the furthest east.
Hey, Dante, put that shit up. Vladivostok.
Vladivostok.
I feel like I'm about to have a stroke saying that shit.
Yeah, it's like one of the furthest.
So it's Moscow, St. Petersburg, and this is like.
Oh no, I mean I just want to go check this place out. Like I wouldn't tell anybody to live there.
Go to the map.
It's way
Show
on
me
the
the
east end of Russia.
Gotcha.
So it's like it's the closest you can get to like Alaska and shit.
Gotcha. And it's supposed to be cool or what?
Yeah, it's supposed to be really cool. Like it's just one of the older cities. Yeah, it's just supposed to be a cool spot. Like it's where the Trans-Siberian, like one of the Trans-Siberian routes ends.
Gotcha.
And I'd always
Is that a train or a shipping route?
It's a train. But yeah, so like it's real close to like North Korea and shit. Like
okay. They're close to their communist boys, huh?
Yeah, real tight.
Okay. So what the fuck? So you arrive. So you get a visa. Is it easy to get a visa as an American? And
yeah. Because like I got a tourist visa because that's the easiest way to move
Step
to a
one,
place,
yeah.
Get tourist visa. And honestly, it was just like for a 3-year visa, it cost me $300 and a trip to New York. Like that was it.
You had to go to New York. For
I
an
didn't have
interview,
to, but I just didn't feel like it was quicker if I went and didn't wait for it to ship.
You're like leave Virginia. Let's go.
Yeah, like I can get out. Yeah,
yeah.
fuck it. And so like I went up and stayed with some friends, and like over the few days that got handled, $300, and then I was good to go. Fucking, and like I had gotten a job working for a Russian crypto advertising agency. And so I was like writing. I was writing a little.
So
bit
that
for
job
them.
existed when you got there.
Yeah, like it was. I was doing it online. So
Gotcha.
like it existed, and like I was gonna go join the offices.
Gotcha.
And then like that place was the fucking worst to work. And so like
That company.
Yeah, that company. So like I knew when I got to Russia that I was going to quit.
Gotcha.
I just didn't tell
You
them.
need it for the paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so I was just like, yeah, I'm coming, and like I get there and like I just wait like 3 weeks without even really like telling them I'm in the city, and then they're like, so what's up? Like we hear you're here.
They're like, you're now in time zone for some reason. This is very good. It's not middle of night for you. You're like, no, it's all good.
No,
dude.
it's all fine. Like I'm trying to get acquainted
I
before
see
I
a
show
guy
up.
like you in Starbucks. You're like, no,
Definitely not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got there, fucking, I quit that job, like, and then again, in a new country, jobless.
You're like, I've been here before.
Yeah, so like at least this time, like I already had an apartment, so that was fine.
Your buddy's place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like he had an extra room, and like he had just had a roommate move out, so I'm like perfect. And so I was just taking over it, and
What's your first impression of Russia?
it was fucking weird. Like it was.
I can't imagine what my first impression of Russia would be.
Like, because I got there in the summer. At the end of summer, I got there in September, so like it was, the beginning of fall, and like it was still really nice. And honestly, it was Saint Petersburg is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So like that was the first thing I noticed about the city. Like a lot of the architecture is really beautiful, but
Pull up St. Petersburg.
but it's like
Get a visual with this story.
it's old.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about Europe. Like I just
Yeah.
went to Paris. Like Paris is over 1,000 years old, bro.
Yeah, you're
Fucking
just like
crazy.
yo, and so you're seeing some of this shit.
Yeah,
You're just
the
like,
Kremlin
yo, this is
and all
ancient.
that shit.
Well, the Kremlin's in Moscow, but
I don't even know what the Kremlin means. I don't even know what the Kremlin is. I just know it's a Russian thing, and I was trying to impress you, to be honest, and it backfired. So here we are.
yeah, no, the Hermitage is like the big museum in St. Petersburg. That's the thing right at the top.
That's the Hermitage?
Yeah.
That looks like City Hall.
It used to be.
That's a museum?
Yeah, it used to be a palace.
Yeah, I can tell, bro. It looks like the Palace of Versailles, bro.
Yeah, the thing is, like,
Ballin'.
I went in there and it was fucking nuts. Actually, so we went, like my girl and I, we went to the Hermitage because they have one day a month where it's free.
Okay.
And so we went on the free.
It's just like the AGO on Wednesdays.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we went and like it was February, dead
Yeah.
of winter. Somebody pulls the fire alarm.
Yeah.
And so like we had checked our coats in the coat rack, and like everybody's scrambling to get out. And so like I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll play the hero. I'll run ahead, get our coats, and then like come back to you.
Yeah.
And my girl, like I ended up like being forced out of another exit that I didn't see coming. And
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
can't just be like,
outside.
oh, I'm going back to coat check. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they're like, get out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. And so like I get like fucking pushed out of the building. And I call her outside. I'm like, yo, I got your jacket, but like you have to walk. She had to walk like 200 meters to
Yeah,
get
because
the
it's a
jacket.
big ass building. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like and there's like a courtyard in the middle. So like
Yeah.
there's like it's fucking freezing out.
Yeah.
It's minus 20.
Yeah, this killed the Germans, by the way. This is the reason the Germans lost.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
And so I'm like, yo, I don't like they won't let me in to get you the jacket. And she's like, all right, I'll get a security guard to come out and get it. And so she tells this security guard, like, my boyfriend's out there. He has my jacket. You'll be easy to spot. Can you go get it and bring it back? And he's like, oh, how will I know who your boyfriend is? And she's like, oh, He's a black guy.
Yeah.
And he, being Kazakh, which is...
Kazakh from Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is basically Russian for black. He's like, oh, black like me. And she's like,
if you're
no.
Kazakhstan, oh, gotcha, yeah. She's saying this in Russian.
Yeah, she's saying this in Russian.
Gotcha.
And so he's like, black like me?
No, black like original.
And she's like, no.
Like Michael Jordan.
And so, like, I don't know this conversation went down.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. Like, she tells me a security guard's coming. And so this guy comes and like he sees me and his eyes fucking light up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck was that about? And she explains to me and
That's
she's
so
like,
funny.
I was like, okay, so he learned what real black is.
Yeah,
today.
exactly. Fuck, man, I'm pretty good with this Kazakhstan thing, man. We got Khabib or whatever the fuck. So Kazakhstanians are like the low level there, like.
Well, yeah, like
you know
Kazakhs,
what I mean?
Georgians, fucking
all those Eastern European broke off little countries.
Well, yeah, anything that used to be former USSR,
Yeah.
like if you're not part of Russia now, you're like Russian black. Like,
Yeah.
As far as I understand it, I'm sure there's more to it, but yeah, that's how I get it. Like,
that's who really fear is the kind of Russians who are outcasted by the real Russians.
Yeah.
The mountain Russians, bro. Kazakhstan and all this fucking Urgama set, like those are the Khabibs.
yeah.
They can't lose, bro.
Oh my god. And
How was it out there?
It was crazy.
Is there racism out there?
There is, but like not the kind that like I was expecting. Like I was fine walking around. Like I would be paranoid. Like I would smoke and then go out. Like I would never smoked in public there.
Like weed?
Yeah, I never smoked weed in public there.
Easy to get?
Fairly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I actually like my second day in town, somebody gave me like a fucking nug of hash that big.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
all
like,
hash over there.
I was like,
Okay.
all right, cool. I eventually found like legit flour, but it took a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it was cool. Like I was paranoid at first because I was like, oh, you know, they're probably gonna fuck with me or whatever. But every time I saw cops, like they never cared because they're like they did care if you were African. So like there were a couple times when I went to clubs and they would ID me.
They're like, oh, American, you're good.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you're good.
And Canadian, same shit.
Yeah, same shit.
Yeah.
But like if you're African, like there are some clubs they just won't let you into.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm just like,
Don't go to Russia with my Sudani passport.
Yeah.
Note to self: do not go to Russia as a fucking
Yeah, they
landed African immigrant.
Yeah, they don't fuck with y'all.
Really?
I don't know why.
God damn.
And like but the thing is like they do a lot of work with African countries. And like
Are there mad Africans there who are like the working like the service force? You know what I mean?
no.
Is it all like the Kazakhs and shit like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like there's a couple Africans there, like, and the ones that are there are either studying or in the military.
Gotcha.
Like, cause
yeah.
like they do a lot of military partnerships with African nations,
Yeah.
and like they also have a lot of people that just come to study.
Imagine being part of the fucking with the Russian military and you can't get into the fucking club. I bet you would just show military ID at that point. and then you'd be good.
Because
Yeah.
you'd be most likely with other military
Yeah,
people.
you're like, yo,
so-
bro, we were in boot camp, man. We were bunked. You were top bunk, you fuck. That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
Was it easy to get a job out there?
I mean, it wasn't bad. Like I was at that point, I was trying to no longer teach. Like I was trying to do
You're done.
anything other than teaching, and I ended up finding a copywriting job,
Yeah.
which basically meant I was writing web content. And like I'd done that for a while, and so I got lucky, kind of stumbling into that one. Just like another dude I had worked with at that first company. He also quit shortly after I quit.
Yeah.
Like it was a mass exodus from this
Yeah.
place. Like it really was a shit place to work.
It was just like straight up theft?
Well, they
Or
just
was it-
didn't know what they were doing.
Gotcha.
Like-
they'd be like, all right, everyone fully do this. And then in 2 hours, they'd say fully do something different. They're like, oh, you don't know.
Well, because I'm just like, yo, so because we were selling, like they were a marketing agency, right? So I'm like, all right, how are we marketing? Because I was supposed to be doing sales for them. So I'm like, all right, how do we do these things? How do we meet these metrics? You know, what are we doing? How can I can't sell something if I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Right? And they could never explain to me.
Yeah, no, they're like, listen, no one knows how it works. You have to sell them on the vision, the hype.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't hype.
It's like that who you've all seen the Bet MGM ads.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who those guys are and where they came from and how deep their checkbook goes, but the amount of marketing efforts these people have taken in like out of nowhere.
Oh, so fast.
Just like Gretzky, fucking this guy and that guy. I'm like, who are these motherfuckers?
Well, yeah.
They're always holding a phone in a dark blue and gold, like Bet MGM.
Do it.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I don't bet, but I kind of want to do
I mean,
it.
right?
It's a powerful ads.
It's like
It's a powerful ads.
It's like, I mean, I want to look that sexy. Fuck.
Fuck, dude, the darkness, man. Well, how do Russians live? Like, is it work all week, party hard on the weekend? Like, what's life like out there?
I mean, life is generally like I hate my job. I will do it, and I like the sooner I can not be doing it, the better. Like,
So it's just like the rest of the world for the most part.
yeah, like they don't work too hard. Like it's not like Asia where they're like, yeah, I'm gunning for work.
Yeah.
Like it's not like that. But like it's
But it's not as bad as America, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, no, it's
far
not.
as,
It's
like,
not
I
nearly
ain't doing
the same.
shit. I'm union, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not
Union
that.
Metallica, that's an American fucking vibe, right?
Well, because like they don't exist in Russia,
Yeah.
so like nobody's got that confidence.
Union, come to Kremlin.
Yeah.
Tell Putin. Kremlin is like where Putin is?
Yeah, like that's like his main
Piece
office.
it together.
Finally got there.
Dante
you know?
is not gonna respect. Episode's called "What the fuck is the Kremlin?"
But yeah,
What's the craziest shit you've seen out there?
craziest shit I saw in Russia? So
Or like some Russian shit that you saw or you see regularly. You're like, that's Russian as fuck.
I mean, like the most Russian shit. Like there's like this drink called Nastoyka,
Yeah.
which is basically like they take vodka and infuse it with shit.
Diesel, a little 94 petrol.
Berries,
Yeah.
like so they'll do like strawberries, raspberries. They'll occasionally even do shit as crazy as like cabbage. Yeah, so there'll be like cabbage flavored liquor, and so like there's these places that are just like Nastoyka halls, and so they just have like 100 different flavors of this shit, and so you can just sit there, and they're really fucking cheap, so you can just take shots of them for like $1.50.
Oh, is alcohol? I'm assuming alcohol is stupid cheap out there.
Oh yeah. And so like, but these places were the best because like you get fucking hammered for $10, and then you just go to the club next door. And so like Russians would like hit up these places, like, and so like that was like the Russian thing. Like I really started to appreciate. Like there's a bunch of like anti cafes and like
their
other things like that.
pregame is off the charts.
Yeah, like they know how to do that shit efficiently, nice and cheap.
That's funny. It's like, bro, it's like all the things in the world that I would have thought about Russians. You're like, yo, their pregame, crazy efficient, dude.
Yeah,
Crazy efficient.
You don't even know.
I-
But I mean, like it was, I don't know, it was crazy because like there was a lot of things that like I was expecting,
Yeah.
like to be, you know, a lot more like in my face, like I
Yeah,
was
tough guy being like, oh, American. Like that's what when I picture being like a guy with vodka would be like, American, you think you have it tough. We're in the winter here. We fucking A, B, and C, whatever the fuck.
yeah, and like I got that once when I was getting scammed. Like, well, do you know the T scam?
No.
All right, so like travelers beware. The T scam is like you're out in a new city and you're obviously a tourist, and somebody invites
So
you.
you're holding a compass?
Yeah, like you got
Excuse
your
me,
map
sir, which
out.
way is west?
Yeah, your little hat with an umbrella.
Yeah, the propeller. Yeah. Think I might rob this guy.
And so they're like, oh, you know, like somebody comes up to you, usually an attractive person. They're like, hey, you know, like yada, 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 asking you some questions. What are you doing? And like, if you say you're just like walking around, they're like, oh, do you want to go grab a drink? We'll have a conversation. You get to hang out with a local or whatever. And if you say yes, then like they bring you to this place that usually has nobody in it. Like it seems kind of dodgy. And then they just order something. Like they'll even often get you into like a back room, and they'll order like the most expensive drinks on the menu. And then when the bill comes, they expect you to pay for everything.
Of course.
Like that's the scam.
Yeah.
Like that's the basic version of the scam.
Women have been doing that in North America for decades, bro. They imported that scam, dude.
So the thing is like the restaurant's in on it. So
Yeah.
like when you say no, like they defend her.
They're the pimp. The restaurant's the pimp.
And they're just like, no, you got to pay, or like we'll call the cops, and like, you know, yada yada.
This happened to you.
Yeah, like, and so usually in a place, like they'll say they'll call the cops, but like if you say you're gonna call the cops, they'll let it go.
Gotcha.
Because it's not worth it for them to have the cops actually get involved. Whereas in Russia, when I was like, I'll call the cops, they were like, call them.
Everyone gets a cut.
Yeah, and there was this one bouncer dude because like I'd shown up.
He's
for,
like, use my phone.
So like the version they got me with was like I was lonely, new in town, so I hopped on Tinder.
Yeah,
and like this date, you know, she was like,
oh, they're on Tinder.
Yeah, they're on
apps.
Tinder now.
Fuck.
And so like we had chatted for a while, like it was a real person, and like we showed up. And she shows up with a friend at this place, and I'm like, oh, you know, it's relatively early. Maybe that's why the place is empty, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then conversation starts going, and like I see the drinks that they order, and I'm like, okay, y'all ordered like 2 double Long Island iced teas. Yeah, okay, I see what's happening here.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I kind of want to see, because like I know you can usually play the cop card to get out of it. So I'm like, I'll fucking see how long this can go for. And so we get a hookah, we get all sorts of shit.
Oh fuck yeah!
And I'm like,
he's trying to get it.
I'm just like, yo, let's fucking ball out. Like,
all in, yeah.
I mean, like the conversation was horrible, but I'm just like, fuck it. Like I'm in it for the story.
Like,
now.
I might get both of them. Yeah, this is where your dick is leading at this point. Is it gonna be both of them? But yeah.
And so we get to the end of the night and I'm just like, all right, you know, like it's obvious you're not gonna go home with me, but whatever, I'm gonna leave. Like it's cool. And they bring the bill and it's like, I think it was like 13,000 ruble,
Which is what?
which is like $200.
Okay.
And
But you fucked that though.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't care. And like, I had only come out with so much money on me, didn't bring any of my cards with me.
Yeah.
Like, because I was like, I don't
Traveler
know what this,
style,
I was like, I don't know what this is gonna be.
Planning for
so
that.
I'm not gonna get like, I'm not gonna get
You
jumped.
got like
and
$75 on you.
yeah, so I'm like, I'm not gonna get jumped and lose all my shit.
Yeah,
like, fuck that. Like, and so they're badgering me. They're like, yo, you know, we're not gonna let you go. And like, the bouncer comes over and he's smaller than me, but he's just like, yo, like you gotta pay. And I'm like, calm down. All right. Like, I'm not trying to fight. Like, I'm just not going to pay this.
Yeah.
And then they call somebody else and like this other bigger bouncer shows up and he's like, you got to fucking pay. And I'm like, look, here's all the money I have. So like, I don't have any cards.
Alexandrovich, come. We have problem.
I was like, you could either let me leave or you could try to fight me and like we can fuck up the interior of this place. But
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You're gonna be at a loss. Trust me.
like we're not like I was like, well, because at that point it was 2-1. So I'm like, I'm gonna lose, but like it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going down with a fight, motherfuckers.
And like I'm not gonna
doing
go
at least 200 in damages, and that's fucking it. What happened?
And so like after a while, like they kept like getting closer and closer and being like, yo, you gotta do something, and like when I think it's gonna come to blows, they're just like, we'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, here's the money, bye.
Dude, I love it, bro. That's like triaging. Like, okay, broken nose, scuffle, fuck up the knife, break that. All right, we'll take the $66, bro. Fuck.
Yeah. So I'm like, good.
Cut our losses.
So I'm
bro.
like, yo, like it's not worth it for any of us right now.
Wow,
Like,
man, that's such a bitch. You're on Tinder. You're thinking like something's gonna happen. You're playing the field in this new place, and it just becomes a full-on scam. And the girls were just there, like, "Bae," like,
yeah.
Were they like aggressive? Did they turn?
No, they dip. They were just like, yo, like you gotta pay. We're not paying anything. You gotta pay. And like they just kind of like slinked off to a back corner. They were just like, nope, it's up to them. Like they just let the bouncers.
Like, the men
handle
will. This is not us. And they just drank everything.
Yeah, they're just like,
Fucking
we don't pay. Like you took us out on a date. Men
Useless
pay when
hoes,
you take
bro.
us out on a date. I'm just like,
They're
fuck
still
that
doing
shit.
that till this day, bro.
Like,
Poor Spider Dan, he's dead, and these bitches are still alive, trekking the earth,
fucking
murky waters of fucking Saint Petersburg.
yeah. And I'm like, it was fresh after the World Cup too, so I'm like, y'all did probably really well all summer. I'm like, you were not expecting somebody to just come in and be like, nah, fuck that.
So this usually works, bro. And then why'd you leave? You just
I left because my girlfriend got residency here.
Yeah.
So and like I knew.
So your girlfriend that I met like at the shows, you met her there?
Yeah. She like so I met my girlfriend in Russia. She's from Siberia.
Yeah.
I met
Damn,
her-
she's from Siberia, bro. Yo, Siberia is in the olden days where they would send motherfuckers to banish them.
Yeah.
Like exile, like true exile. They just sent niggas to Siberia, bro.
Yeah. Like and that's
She's
just what it
hardened.
was.
She's from is she from a hardened family, bro? Siberia? Jesus Christ.
Yo,
dude.
I mean, she told me the town that she initially started growing up in.
They got tigers. They got winter tigers.
just hiding.
I'm assuming Siberian tigers come from
Like
there.
actually from up there?
Yeah,
Yo,
wait.
find that out because I actually don't know.
Predators of Siberia.
Like
the
Siberian
largest
tigers,
predators of
where are they
Siberia.
Because like
Siberia. Siberian cat. That don't sound like a pussycat, bro. Yeah, bro.
yeah.
Ooh.
Where's it?
That's
live
my
at?
favorite animal right there. I don't even know
like
why.
that
I've just
motherfucker.
been my favorite animal for like 15 years, and now that I ask myself, I have no idea why.
The power.
Just as an eating machine.
The dominance. The
Fucking
grace.
dope. But you met her out in St. Petersburg?
Yeah, so I met her when I was hosting a fucking
An open mic?
no Christmas comedy show.
Oh, yeah?
Like I was helping to produce and like I was hosting this Christmas comedy show and like I saw her in the audience and I was like, you're cute.
It was all in English.
Yeah, it was all English, and yeah, because like I helped start like
An all-black comedy club.
Well, the English comedy club out there. So yeah, like it was fun. Yeah, it was like half black, but it was great. It's still running now. Actually, they're in a different space, but like the English scene is still popping out there. So that's great. But yeah, so like we met that show. We went to dinner. Actually, well, I went to dinner. I mean, she came over to my place and like I made dinner.
Yeah, as one does.
Well, and then she told me she wouldn't sleep with me for 2 months, and then I was like, all right, well, this seems like a fun challenge.
Damn, yeah, that's hilarious. That's that Siberian shit, dude. That's Siberian, bro. Yeah. That's old world shit. You gotta respect that. Though.
Yeah, and I mean, like whether or not it lasted is a different thing, but like
it's like I was in it that night. Love you, baby. I was in it to win it.
But like I was hooking up with different people when we met.
Yeah.
And like that after a couple of times of us hanging out, like I called it off with everybody else. I was like, we're done. Like
I'm all in.
I see potential here. And then like it was 6 months later, she got her residency here.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm going. I'm like, well, can I come with? That's
fucking sick. Her English is great. Like, is that average English over there? Like, the average person has that level of English, or does she?
No. She studied to be a translator.
Oh, goddamn! What a fucking jackpot, dude.
Yeah. So like, her English is fucking perfect.
Siberian translator.
Yeah,
that's some next shit.
Yeah, she speaks. I mean, she's way smarter than me in that. Like, she speaks English, Russian, French, and a little bit of Spanish.
Goddamn.
And I'm just like, yeah, I got like half of.
You're like, I get tricked by Tinder chicks.
Yeah. So I was like,
you know what I mean?
Not even mastering English, right? So.
And then you didn't even go to America. You came to Canada after that.
Yeah, just came straight to Canada. Just didn't even stop over. Like,
and how do you feel about Canada now that it all is culminating here? So you went straight to Toronto, right?
Yeah, came straight to Toronto, and like I don't know, I was expecting a lot from Canada.
Yeah,
like I had been to Montreal. That was my first time in Canada.
Montreal's you were like, whoa, Canada's kind of like Europe.
Yeah,
you know
I was like, yo, this is fucking,
this
is a vibe. I was like, I fuck with this so much. And so when I got to Toronto, I was like, this is just
a
North
fucking
America.
Heartless city.
I was like, this is some random like city in the heartland
it's just
of America.
Buildings and
like,
new culture.
I'm just like, all right, same fucking cars, everything. I was like, well, the only thing that was great was weed had just become legal when I got here. And it's like, that's
welcome.
That's worth it. Like, but there were still only 2 shops in town. Like, it was Honey Pot and like something else. Like,
now that's no longer the problem, bro.
No, I mean, on my way here, I saw 12. So
yeah. I can't wait till the mass death because people will inevitably like come out triumphant. Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna be Value Buds.
Yep.
Who stole the branding of No Frills. Dante, looked like you got something to say. Don't say Tokyo Smoke. Don't say Tokyo Smoke. They're fuck Tokyo Smoke.
Insider knowledge, I don't know about Value Buds.
Well, say who it's gonna be, bro. What the fuck?
I just know it's not Value Buds.
I mean,
how do you don't know the future, bro?
Like,
fuck insider knowledge, bro.
Value Buds?
It's not going to be Value Buds.
Fuck those guys,
if
all
they
right?
IPO, don't buy Value Buds. Just saying.
I mean, I think Green Merchant's got a fair shot. Like,
I've never even heard of them.
Oh, well,
They're not a chain, though, are they?
No, they're semi-independent, but like I think they've got like offshore backing. And like, there's a couple places where it's just like they're waiting to see it all thin out because they've just got offshore backing.
And then they'll just dump it in.
And they'll just be fine.
They're backed by the same people back at Buy MGM or whatever, Bet MGM.
Yeah, they're just like,
they got money and they're ready to roll that shit out. Dude.
Yeah, they're just waiting forever. It's like, it doesn't matter. So,
bro, that's quite the story, man. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
You've actually been around. But if you had to go back right now, you're getting kicked out of Canada, and you cannot enter America. And you had to go back to one of the countries you already lived in, which one would you go back to?
Well, I mean, considering the war, I would definitely go back to Prague.
Yeah, Prague would be the one?
Yeah, Prague would be the place.
That's the most like, the English is pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, English is pretty much everywhere because it's a huge touristy
Yeah.
place. And it's still pretty cheap because they're not on the euro.
Exactly. They got that Eastern European prices.
Yep. And like, it's
You ever go to Budapest, Hungary?
I did.
No, Budapest is the peak.
Yeah.
Budapest was my favorite.
Oh, yeah. See, but I only spent a weekend in Budapest. Like,
I hit all these places 48 hours,
Yeah.
but Budapest is like that. it makes you feel like a kingdom was here. It's like
Yeah.
7 massive bridges on a river that would have one bridge in any of like these North American cities. They have like 5. This one is like Victorian. This one is modern. This one is like, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
It's just like, and the vibe of the city is so real there too.
Budapest was a good time.
Yeah, no, I loved it out there. But like
But
Prague,
you go back Prague, huh?
I mean, Prague
is
just
a-
because like it is, Prague is like it's a fairy tale for degenerates. Like it's like Disney created its own version of Las Vegas.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I love it. That's a good way to put it.
They took out the slot machines but kept the sluts. Like it's just like that's what it
they did
is.
that.
Like, and I mean, I loved it out there because like I worked in tourism and I partied so much out there. It was ridiculous. But like it's a fun place. Like any place where you can buy weed at a fucking bar and then go. I mean, I don't know. I love this place because like there were a lot of firsts for me. Like that was also the first time like I ever did DMT.
Oh, sick.
And so like there's this park called Regro Visati Park where you basically are sitting across from the castle. And so like you're across the river on a hill looking at the castle up on a hill. And like during the summer the sun sets behind the castle. And so I just took like a hit of DMT right as the sun's setting behind
Exact
the castle.
Disney moment.
And I was just like, So I mean, I know that definitely hardwired some shit for why I love it there.
You saw God in Prague.
Pretty much, yeah. And it was the most amazing thing. I brought Yulia there, my partner, and she fucking loves it too. So
Did you get the DMT for her?
next time we were only there for a couple days, fucking. But yeah, no, like she's down to move back. We're like considering going there or Portugal.
Fuck yes, dude. I love it. Portugal and Spain are on my list now to go to.
yeah,
And Vietnam. I can't wait to go Vietnam.
Yeah, I haven't been to Vietnam. Like I love Spain. Well, I've only really been to Barcelona, but fucking love Barcelona. And like I've been to Lisbon, and like the food, the graffiti, the people. It's fucking amazing.
I love it. I'm amped. I'm amped on the fucking idea of traveling, and I'm gonna be traveling. And now you've reinvigorated that travel bug within me, dude.
Fuck yeah.
I just gotta get my money right. I gotta get that money right, and I'm gonna be flying. Yo, support the show. Yo, but DMT in Prague, let's land it on that, bro. Yo, that was fucking incredible, bro. This has been a dope podcast, an amazing conversation.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride.
I appreciate you coming on here, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Look into this camera. Tell the people where they can find you.
All right, so yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Danton Lamar. Find me on Facebook the same way. Follow the Comedy Lab at Comedy Lab TO. And yeah, come support us, see a show.
Got shows going down all the time. As always, scroll below. I'll put all that info there. Catch my guy and me out in the city, Toronto. Just go see some live shows. There's a million up. Check our stories. There's always stuff happening. If you want to support the show, do it directly at patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. At this point, Dante is laughing in the back. He's like, bro, you're going to fucking lose these people. But yo, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, your boy Abbas Wahab signing out. Peace.
Laters.